All right, folks. Going to do some commentary on the final here. It is between Terry Bain and Kim Miller versus Todd Irving and Jesse Gammett. They're both racing for six. This is the first race. Terry and Kim have the hot seat, so they will need to be double dipped. This will be another good one. They played each other in the hot seat. And Terry and Kim ultimately come out ahead on that. Now, an interesting thing. So there was a side pot in this tournament that ended up being a 60-40 split for first and second. However, the team of Todd and Jesse and Willie and Dre that just lost out, neither of those two teams got into the side pot. So Terry and Kim are guaranteed the first place money, which is the 60%. And fourth place team, Nick and Ron, they got the 40% side pot as they were the second highest team the second highest finishing team in the teams that got into the competition. So congrats to them. And so basically now it's just a play for the tournament for the money. So I can tell you this tournament ended up running longer than I had anticipated. But with the number of solid teams that we had, there were plenty of races that went hill or close. So all of that adds time. And I want to thank the 24 teams that came out to play. Definitely appreciate you coming and hanging out with all of us. And of course, thank you to the Dutch as they added a decent chunk of money to this, and they're hosting everything and supporting pool. So definitely a big thank you for that. So first place in this tournament pays $1,200, and second place will pay $600. So this match is basically worth $600, and it should be another good one. So I just got back. I do believe she's shooting strikes. Appears at the 12 ball. It is 15 ball, both very good. That was actually a really good shot to bust the 10 out of there. But as you can see, it did not open up with them. So Terry should be looking at a safety option here. And if if I were to be playing it, I would be coming off the 10 like this to this kind of area. Somewhere over here is what I'd be looking at. See, kind of looks like he's looking at the same. Okay, so he was trying to actually get it up behind this ball. Much tougher with that side pocket there. And as you can see, he did not get past it. So Jesse comes to the table with a shot. With a 6 sitting in there tight like that, it's going to be a combo. He's hoping to not pocket the 3. He wants to hang it there. And he did just that. So good job, Jesse. Yeah, it's just a matter of where Todd wants to try to get this to give Jesse a shot on this 2 ball. He could come up here with a little top left. So kind of like that as you see on the cue ball there. And basically that would let that cue ball up this way. That's kind of what, it's not a speed shot. Looks like he might be trying to go to the right rail, but basically he's shooting the 2 ball in this pocket right here. Now if he goes in right, then he could come this way also. Both are very doable. But ideally you want to play safety here because you just pocket the ball and then you have a decent look at that. So Todd opted to play safety, bump this ball a little more out into the opening of the pocket just because he did not like either shot to get shaped and decided to put Terry into a tough position here. Now it's pretty smart safety as he left it buried to the 3, so now it is 3-2. So Tim will be having a tough time trying to bridge over this 3. So now it'll be very difficult to make a shot here, but you want to get a legal hit, try to play safe, leave distance. Okay, so this could be game 1, just because they have a look at the 2 ball. And basically, with the 3 sitting in the jaws of the pocket, Jesse doesn't have to do much to try to get shaped. He just needs to pocket this 2. If he follows that, the cue ball should come on this pattern here and stay in this area. So Todd has a good look at this. Todd has a good look at the 3 ball, and he just decides where he wants to play shape. So he could easily get up into here, play to this corner, or he could just go up in here and make Jesse a side pocket. It's all preference from Todd at this point. He might be trying to play shape to the side pocket. It's hard to tell with the speed he hit that at which one. He might have been going to the corner, and considering where it's sitting now, if you look at that line and the contact point is here, then the tangent line is bringing this pocket into play. And Jesse doesn't hit the speed very often, so that's going to allow that cue ball to hold that top English that he's going to end up putting on this. It's going to take it right towards that pocket. Just like so, and managed to get the point. Great shot. And that puts them on the board first. They're up 1-0, ace of 6. Okay, so now while they are doing your own part, you go over the sponsors here. So as you can see in the box there, the migrating through there, you'll see Screen FX, which they offer hand-pulled screen printing and embroidery. They're high-quality products. I have had shirts made there before for Vegas and Lincoln City, and not only do they get them done in a timely manner, but the product has been very nice. I've been very pleased with it each and every time. And of course, and you can get a hold of them through their Facebook page at ScreenFX or the phone number 509-607-9307. So if you have any screen printing or embroidery needs, business or personal, whatever the case may be, definitely give them a call. Next one, Volution Fitness, 24/7 gym. There are 4 locations in Yakima, 1 in Sela. Their membership gives you access 24/7, so you can work out on your schedule. They offer personal training, group classes, and nutrition coaching. Visit their actual physical location, or you can go to the website at volutionfit.com or reach out to them through Facebook. And then you see the ACH, which is Arredondo Custom Hauling. They've been moving freight across the PNW for over 18 years. They specialize in flatbed and maxi flatbed work, and they take pride in getting the job done correctly. For any of your own needs or just questions you may have, please call Ryan at 509-760-8518 or Robert at 509-855-6736. Last but not least is PNW Design Fab. They are a custom metalwork and installation shop. Their services include everything up to, but not limited to, gates, handrails, stairs, personal signs, business signs, truck beds, and more. Bring them your idea and they will bring it to life. For any questions, please call 509-952-3004 or visit them on their website at pnwdesignandfab.com. All right, back to the match here. Todd Jesse won the first game. They're up 1-0. They have to beat Terry and Kim in 2 races. They have to double dip them as Terry and Kim have the hot seat. There have been quite a few matches throughout this tournament that have gone hill, or close. So that extends tournament time. But with 24 teams of solid players, that is going to happen. We kept it 24 teams. We managed to get them all. We had teams from everywhere. Tri-Cities, Spokane, all through the valley here. Definitely appreciate all of them coming, hanging out with us, playing some good pool, and we'll look forward to seeing them again next week. Todd missed a 3, left it hanging there, and then Terry comes to the table with a back cut on the 9 ball. They got a couple of trouble balls, one right here, and one shot. Terry has resolved both. Now not both of those balls can go to the corner pocket. They have both. The downside is she decides to shoot this 12 ball right here. She's going to be shooting over the 11 ball. Anytime you make a tall bridge like that to shoot over balls, your accuracy is affected. And we'll see what happens here. She makes that shot, then I definitely fully expect them to get out right here to tie the score up. Now she missed that, but you see that where the cue ball ended up. The one ball has no hold. I cannot tell if the four ball goes here or not. It looks like it does. It might be tight, but it does look like it passes. And that will be his only shot, as this one ball right here has no hold. So those of you watching the stream there, I see you in the chat. Who are you? Let me know who you are and where you're watching from. Thanks for tuning in as well. Appreciate it. Okay, so Jesse just decided on pushing the one out there and trying to just open their ball up for the next opportunity they might get. Now, if they get an opportunity, I'll be surprised if Terry's going to back cut this. The cue ball is going to come kind of in this area and probably be playing shape for that 15 next. Terry left a natural angle to get up table, so it's cutting that here. The cue ball is going to come this way towards that four, maybe even a little bit above it. You don't want to slow roll this and leave this over here. So we'll see what speed Kim decides to hit this at. Hey, Kelly, I see you in the chat there. Smith family is watching. Hello, Smith family. How y'all doing today? Kim got perfect shape. She glided in the 4, got perfect shape on the 10, but she overcut the 11 and it is now out. And Todd comes to the table with a good look at this one ball. Does not have to do much, just pocket it, maybe come up in this area and leave an angle for the score so that Jesse can play that angle to get shape on the set. So we'll see if that's what he does or if he's opting to try to work the cue ball a little more for Jesse. Okay, so he played the natural angle and left Jesse a really good shot at this 4. Good look at it with an angle where Jesse could just literally do a center ball and that will take the cue ball across here. So on this particular shot, folks, when you hit center ball, it will travel straight across. If you hit top spin, tendency is for it to go this way. Looks like Jesse might be hitting a little top, so may follow the second line I drew. As you can see that it did. So he did have top spin on. Center ball would take that cue ball, or literally straight through the window right here. So keep that in mind, folks. When you're cutting down the rail like that, you're coming into it with center ball, the cue ball will come across on a straight line. Any kind of top spin, it does go forward. So depending on where you're needing to go with that, keep that in mind. But that brings Terry to the table. I would be drawing that to come over here. Is essentially what he did. I think I would have drew it a little bit more, but still a very doable shot. And because of the angle, the cue ball, like I said, if she hits the center, the cue ball is going to want to come on this line, and then somewhere right here would be perfect. If she hits with a little top spin, then it's going to come off and travel more towards the pocket, which is okay as long as you don't have enough feet to get there. So as you saw, there opened up wider and routed the scratch. But because of the faster speed, it's still going to travel on this line. But as you can see, it went up table and all the way back down to where it is now, leaving Terry a tough shot and a decision to make. I do believe he's pondering a safety. Now, you could roll straight into his 15, leave the cue ball somewhere here, and let this play out. And then the 8-ball will hook it. And as you can see, he did just that, and then he played the 15 into there too. So that cuts off a kicking lane. Todd's pretty decent at kicking, so I expect him to get a hit here. The tough part of this, he's kicking to the correct side, and the reason why I say that is because if the cue ball hits the spool, then it's going to stop, not move much. And if he does not make it, then that will leave them hooked on the 15. Now, if he were to kick this way, then the cue ball's going to make a run for it. Sure, it can stop it hitting a pool, but hitting a pool will not let it make the pocket. Whereas if he hits the pool now, it's going to head towards that side pocket. So he's giving himself the best percentages. So he caught a quarter ball. So that's at the 4 down table. Brought the cue ball over to 15. And luckily for them, it's supposed to the 15. So there's no real shock here. And the 4 is somewhat neutral. By neutral, it's not right in front of a pocket. So if she wanted to play safety, she could just graze the 15 and take the cue ball here and come back, basically to a similar spot she's in right now. But as you see, she opted to play the safe. Ended up in a pretty good spot, but there is a shot there. But I give her props for the attempt. It was the right shot. And it paid off. And very unfortunate that that did not stretch. Because the board rolled over from the 15, leaving Terry blocked. Now, had that fallen in, that would have been ideal, as they would have fallen hand on that block ball and would have been able to fire away to pocket of their choice. So now there's no offensive shot here. So basically, you want to graze this over here, maybe put this way, maybe get the cue ball to be in this area. Much tougher to do for distance. But we'll see what Terry does here. Oh, even nicer. Yep, go on the backside of it. And as you can see where he ended up leaving it, he left no shot. But I fully expect Todd to return with something that's going to leave a difficult shot for Kim. Now, those of you watching the play safeties, not only hiding the ball is good, distance is your friend. So anytime you can put distance, the reason why that's true, even if they can see the ball, it is very difficult to control. So unfortunately, as you saw, neither ball touched a rail, and in guardrail rules, which BCA is, that is a foul. So now had the cue ball touched this rail, it would have been okay. But it did not. The 4 ball hit the 15, and so nothing here touched the rail as well. So now Kim can pick her and go on this 15 and give Terry a good look at this 8. I can tell you, one thing you do not want to do with ball in hand is give yourself a straight in shot. Always, always give yourself an angle, even if it's a little one. Give yourself something to work with and move the cue ball around. Don't put it straight and just have to draw or. That was pretty fortunate too, but as you can see, that's an ideal shot. Pressure pack. This is the kind of shot you want. Something that's not too difficult to make, and you get the right person shooting it. Terry's a great shot. Long time pool league player. Uh, Knows exactly what to do here. We'll expect him to go in and tie up this ball game. Ooh. You might have to say that could be the commentator curse, because that is very unlike him. So I guess I won't put that kind of pressure on. Oh, he ran out for the bathroom routine, so he was literally under pressure. So Jesse comes to the table with a similar shot he had a bit ago. Nothing easy though. It's a thin cut. Got to control speed as well. And he hit that like money. Nice shot, Jesse. And he brings TODD to the table with a very makeable shot into the side. Good job, Jesse. That was a big pressure shot there. And TODD has this to take a 2-0 lead. And I see in the comments there, Chubb790, he makes a comment, that was some great safety play. You are correct. That was very good on both. You know, they're looking at everything. And, you put some thought into that. And you want to be able to play good saves to up your percentages on getting back to the table. And it has worked. And here TODD is shooting the 8. It's a little bit of a cut. It's not as much of a cut as it looks to be on screen. I'm sitting right in line with it. And a center pocket hits that, and they take a 2-0 lead. So that was a big miss by Terry. What could have been 1-1 is now 2-0. And the race to 6, that is big. That all comes from Jesse's nice shot on that 4-ball. It was not easy. Distance and everything. And it very well. Nice job, Jesse. So Terry spanks the brake and fails to block that ball, and that will bring TODD and Jesse to the table. And I'd have to say they both have their own trouble balls. This cluster 2 for stripes, this one for solids. When you look at tables like that, what you want to look at is there anything here that you can use to break that up? For the 7-ball, there's really nothing at this point. The stripe, so I could say you're in this area, you could do this kind of thing and get that breakout. But if you look at that and realize that that's the case, then your shots, you're going to want to be able to start setting that up. So there's a question in there that says, do you live stream all the tournaments or just the big tournaments? I typically live stream. If I'm playing in the tournament, I'll still set up, stream matches. I just don't do commentary all the time. But the matches are streamed on table one here, which is our stream table. We do have another platform where two people play for money, and those ones are streamed with commentary. We're always looking for players to do that. And basically what we do is we look for players that are evenly matched, and then me and the two players will work out a dollar amount for them that they're both comfortable with, a date and time, and then I promote it and advertise it, and then we set it up, and then the day of we get it going, and it's a good time. But like our little weekly tournaments we have, I typically don't stream anything on those. But the bigger tournaments, I usually try to stream at least some, because not just the players that play and ultimately get knocked out, but we have a very large pool community, and they always want to. And so I get text messages all the time. Hey, are you going to stream it? Or are you going to this? So then, because of that interest, I do it. It's important to use this service that we have. We pay for it, so we might as well. And it's pretty cool. And anything to support pool is a good thing. So this tournament started yesterday morning at 10. We had 24 teams. And the way this was set up, it was 1,000 cap for Fargo cap. And if your combined Fargo was between 900 and 1,000, you would play to 6. If it was between 800 and 900, you played to 5. And if you were below 800, you played to 4. So no matter A side, B side, who you played, whatever your number was to race to, that's what your number was in every match. And it seemed to work out pretty well. But like I said, as we got deeper into the tournament, there was a lot of matchups that were really even. So then we went deep, like Hill or 7-5, or 6-4, those kind of things. And for time consuming, especially as the deeper you get and you get closer to the money, people start kind of tightening up and playing a little more safety and that kind of thing. But there was some really solid matches, I gotta say. Some hard fought ones. Pretty good ones. So we'll definitely be doing some more of these in the future, but I may make some sort of adjustment so that we don't run this late to the Sunday night. I typically try not to run late into Sunday nights just because we do get a lot of out-of-towners, and I want to be able to give them a decent hour to drive home and get rested for the work week, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, like I said, this one ran a little long, so we're here, and if we get into a second race, we could run late. But that's how we learn. So I will make adjustments to future tournaments because of this, and this location is also looking to expand. There's conversation that potentially here in the next couple of years there will be an addition of 2 tables. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But like I said, that's down the road. You see, Todd scratched on his kick shots, kick to the table, ball in hand, he's looking for a combo, and made the 6 probably real 11 like this. It doesn't look like it goes clean, so it's going to have to kind of go in like that. Just like that. Very nicely done. And so now, the only downside to that is that 11 moved over and is blocking the 7. However, You can play the 3 and give yourself an angle to cut this one this way and go break that out, or you can shoot the run right now like he is and go try to break that 7 out. And he did. Very nicely done, Terry. Great job. So they're very high percentage right now. I'm not going to try to say too much because I do not want to do the commentators first again. So those of you watching that know that Kim and I used to shoot Scott Douglas quite a bit together. And every now and again we play a little tournament together and we still do all right. He's a good ball maker, so, and it got to a point where I stopped trying to do too much and I just played Kate for myself. Like, what would I shoot next? And she would just handle it. So definitely a good partner to have. As you can see, her here in the hot seat. So that was another great move right there by Charity. It's a little bump on the end. So now, not only does it go to the corner, but it also goes to the side. So that bump was very helpful. And now Kim just to roll this in, try to roll this 2 in right here. Try not to do too much. Leave the cue ball in this area to give Terry options on the score ball, either to the side or I don't know if it goes to the corner. Yeah, it goes to the corner as well. So give them options. The thing is to try not to, especially since you're using the bridge, you don't want to try to force shape or do anything too silly here. These things are affect your accuracy for sure. So anytime you use a crutch or anything, you typically just want to pop your ball. Don't try to do too much. You will get yourself in trouble. And there's a perfect example of that. She made a great shot. Knocked the ball. You can see the cue ball. She was trying to force it back out, probably in this area. But as you can see where it ended up, Terry doesn't really have a shot. 7 goes into the side, but it is very tight. If it makes it, you should have natural shape. The cue ball's going to go up like this and come back down. Give him a shot of the floor in the corner. We'll see. Yeah, that was a tough lead, but what might work for them is that you bump the 12 and put it in a position that makes it a trouble ball. Todd is very safety prone, so he may just give this a little bump to play safe. For me, I think I would be going without cutting this one, cue ball come out, drop this one down, leave the cue ball in this area, and then that would leave you this shot. But those are very specific shape shots, which I tend to like. And he's going to cook this 12 and make the 7 ball. Fortunately, Kim into a kick shot on the board. Okay, so that could turn out to be costly. It was a legal hit as the 12 ball bumped the rail here. But as you can see, he did not pocket the 7 ball. So she can full cut that, bring the cue ball into here, and bump that ball to give Terry a good look at the score. Once again, she's in a position to not try to do too much. Think about that, slide the cue ball, slide down and give it a bump. Now, one thing people have a tendency of doing is hitting breakouts with speed. And it's not always necessary to just determine what you need. You just need separation so you can see, then give it a little bump, and by doing so at a slower speed, you allow yourself more control of the output. If you go into breakout with speed, there's no telling what's going to go where the cue ball might go. You definitely be tough. Okay, so she's raised the back side of that big team ball, but as you can see, it opened up a good looking performance. So basically, earlier when she shot that two ball with the crutch, she should have played shape like what it is right now. But that's yesterday's news. Terry was in the pocket this ball and thought of giving Kim. I gotta say, commentators first. I'm not gonna say anything on this one just to see what happens. Let's just watch what it's. Oh, that was a great shot. Center pocket. Gives Kim a good look at this side pocket here. Once again, I'm not going to comment on this. Let her do her thing. I can tell you a little interesting thing about Scotch doubles. Yakima is the only place I know of or have heard of that has a Scotch doubles league. Most places, you do have Scotch doubles tournaments and things like that, and people just pair up based off of whatever criteria is set. However, without knowing what the chemistry, it can be difficult. Whereas in Lincoln City, Yakima teams always seem to do very well, but it's because they have chemistry, because we have that league, so they're not just pairing up random to play the tournament. They're able to use their experience and make it pay off. So maybe there is no commentator's curse. Kim hit point in the side pocket, he was 8 hanging in the jaws. But as you can see, the 12 ball is still an issue. So what I'm saying here is pocket in the 11, maybe go out into this area, and then playing that 12 off. Now we'll move the 8 out, but if you have a kind of an idea of where that's going, you can play shape to that area and potentially give yourself a nice looking pattern. It might be what Todd's looking at right now. With the 8 ball in the jaws, a safety is not going to be very beneficial, as Terry's a pretty decent kicker and he is the next shooter, so I think the play is to pocket that ball and then try to put a 12 on the 8 side. So you see where he left that cue ball in the safety. So the one rail kick the long end. Side to side is also there. Carries up here for the end to end kick. And save. My goodness, wow. That really looked good there on the line it went in. But did not touch the gate, and therefore Jesse comes to the table with the ball in hand. So now, this very good opportunity for them. So as you can see, Jesse sets a little back cut angle, but the cue ball's natural path from over here, which is perfect. And then there's really no shape TODD, so they have the 8 is in the jaws of the side pocket. So the cue ball's on the table, Jesse will be able to see it and make it fairly easily, I'm sure. Just like that, just has a shot. Probably make with his eyes closed right here. And let's take a big 3-0 lead. There it is. And while they cycle through the rack process, I will touch on the sponsors again. First one is Screen FX. They offer hand-pulled screen printing and embroidery. They do great work. Speak from experience. If you have any needs for embroidery or screen printing for personal use or for company stuff, definitely hit them up. Contact them through their Facebook page or the number 509-607-9307. And the next is Volution Fitness, 24/7 gym. There's 5 locations, 4 in Yakima, 1 in Sealand. Your membership gets you access 24/7 so that you can work out at your convenience. They also offer personal training, group classes, and nutrition coaching. Become a member on site by visiting their location or go to the website volutionfit.com to their Facebook page. Next is ACH, which is our custom hauling. They've been moving freight across the Pacific Northwest for over 18 years. They specialize in flatbed and maxi flatbed work. They take pride in getting the job done right. For any hauling needs or questions you may have, please call Ryan at 509-760-8518 or Robert at 509-855-6736. Last but not least is PNW Design Fab. They do custom metal work and installation. Their services include everything up to, but not limited to, gates, handrail, stairs, personal or business signs, truck beds, and more. Bring them your idea and they will bring it to life. For any questions, please call 509-952-3004 or visit them on their website at pnwdesignandfab.com. All right, back to the bench. All right, folks. So Todd and Jesse are out to a 3-0 lead in a race of 6. So they're halfway home on their first race, which is big. That puts a lot of pressure on Terry and Kim. And they are going to need to start getting games. Kim is at the table, looking to cut this 5 ball in. A little bit of an overcut, pushing it to the bottom now. However, it is blocking a couple of stripes, so that helps. Todd might be playing 13 here on the side, which will bring the cue ball into here and give them a shot on the two proper balls I was just looking at. I can get that a lot harder than I thought he would. And as you can see, the cue ball rolled too far. Had it been in this area, Jesse could have shot at either one of those. But because it didn't, it could be something they'll still have to address. There's nothing easy to shoot at where everything lies right now. His best opportunity is probably the 11, which is what he is choosing to shoot right now. But the cue ball doesn't come out more center table-ish. Kind of like that. So he made a nice shot, brought the cue ball out to a location where I can do some work from there. So, as mentioned earlier, first base will receive $1,200. Second base received $600. Todd and Jesse did not get any side pot, so there was no side pot money for them. However, Terry and Kim did, and therefore they will receive a 60% portion of that side pot, which is $420. Nick and Ron, who finished fourth in the tournament, were the next highest finishing team. So they got the 40% cut of the side pot, which is $280, in addition to the $350 they won from the tournament. Third place received $450, and that was for Billy and Andrea Toma. They shot great. They were a last-minute entry, and they made it all the way to the money. So good job, guys. And now we're down to just these two. The 24 we started with. And shooting over the 5, back cutting the 10. So the cue ball is going to run. So he's looking to play that here. So the cue ball is going to run around. So he's trying to give it a little stun draw. Maybe use a 6 ball. Hanger. Pretty fortunate the cue ball stayed on the table, and it's stayed in the pocket deep enough. They cannot see this one ball right here. So Terry fired at the 6 ball. That's all he basically had. Ended up missing it, bringing it out. And so now Todd and Jesse's trouble ball is right here. Looks like Jesse's eyeballing the 12 up table. But I think for me, I would be shooting this ball and using little top left. So if you look on a clock face, basically right here, on the 15, and the cue ball would go here, and that top left would bring it right into here, and then they would be out of trouble. Jesse just made that shot and just topping with it, so he gets that outcome. However, he did give Todd a look at the downside to where he's at now versus where I was thinking over here is English of their, or get shape of their last ball. But cutting this, he's going to be trying to get some sort of that potentially crash into a solid stop keep. Almost hit that perfect. But now the 10 ball sitting in the jaws of the pocket, I don't believe the 7 passes here, so it's blocked. So Kim comes to the table, nothing really easy to work with. Because of that, you have to look at the safety factor here. And I think in this particular situation, I'd be looking to raise the 7 to tie up the 12 and leave the cue ball here. Something along those lines. Because even if they end up seeing the 10 in the front pocket, the 12 would be tied up, so it'd be very difficult to get back here. So I think Kim is looking to just raise it 5 and sit in here and block both balls. I've seen her pull these off before, so she's capable of it. And these are very speed sensitive, and they have to be almost perfect. Five ball, just enough on it to touch the rim. But still sitting at 10, which means if he cuts it in, the cue ball's going to come above the 6-2. Okay, so had he hit that with a little less speed, he'd have been dead straight on it perfect. However, TODD can't see the cutting, and he's a good enough shooter to be able to control that and use that. Like I said, if you cut that here and go center, the cue ball will stay on the straight line. So then it's just speed control to get up in the middle. Hit a little reverse on there. Bring it this way. Good, even if you like to spin, do it this way. But for the most part, you want to try to keep things as simple as possible. Keep your percentages high. The important part is to not get hooked behind the 7 ball when the cue ball comes back across. When missing that ball, you see he blocked 1 ball, so creating a trouble ball for Terry. But they have options to play safe here, so ultimately the best one would be to bank this out and just roll forward right here. Trying to thin the 6 and roll down table is kind of dangerous. And he ended up cutting that a little. It works, but it would have been more efficient to roll forward into this position right here. That would also take away the jump. But right now, I don't think they're going to jump, they're going to kick. So now, one thing to notice is the cue ball being here, 12 ball being here, they're relatively the same distance this way from the rail. So in that case, then the center point, so what you see is a center, so maybe right here, you can kick that way, but it looks like he's just going for a hit. Just going to push it up against there. Okay, so he hit the 12 with too big a bite and carried off into the corner. But to finish what I was saying, 12 ball here, cue ball here, picking the center point line like that, you would kick like this. As the cue ball goes angle in, angle out, the only time that center point doesn't really work is if the object ball was, say, here, for example, and then the cue ball is here, so that they're different distances from the rail, and hitting in the middle doesn't work. Now, Kim sets out, she's going to start with the 1. The big trouble ball right now is this one right here. So, what she needs to do is start with maybe the 6. get that down, give yourself a little angle, come in like that with 5 next. And the reason why you want to start with the 6 is because that would open that pocket up for the 2. Get rid of the 6 ball, and now the 2 ball will travel here. So now starting with the 5, and maybe trying to go off the rail and into the 2 and knock it out of there. I don't like that. It's too much. Okay, we got a little bump. And so now definitely shoot the 6. But giving it that little bump knocks the 2 off the rail. So now she just rolls up. Terry just rolls up on the 6 ball. Kim would have a shot at the 2 to be able to run it up table, whereas if it was stuck on the rail, it'd have to be hit very perfectly. But yeah, I definitely would start with the 6 ball and play the angle so that I got to be shooting the 5 ball next. You'd be able to get above the 2. Definitely not what he wanted. He was definitely trying to bump the 2 harder and push it up table. But after the bump, it got it off the rail. That wasn't really necessary. But as you can see, now Kim is forced into shooting the 2. So this will be a tough shot. Kim hit that very well. Managed to get the cue ball above the side pocket, but as you can see, there's nothing simple here. So Terry's out to go bank versus the cut. It's natural shape off this bank. Hit that perfect, and as you can see, he's on the wrong side of the line. So had the cue ball been more on the rail, there would be an natural angle coming up at this machine. Being on the wrong side of that, it's going to be very difficult to get him closer to the 8. So basically just going to pocket it and maybe leave the cue ball in this area and just rely on Terry's skill. The other option here is to go rail first, get the cue ball out of there. It looks like she might be trying to draw, but she managed to do it. So, considering, that's not horrible, and I think Terry would be more than happy to take this shot. And this is where I stop talking because I do not want to curse. Nice job, Terry. Way to take your time and dial that in. That was a big game because I'll tell you, being down 4-0 is a much bigger mental setback than 3-1. And that could be a momentum switcher. Pool is very momentum based. You may notice it more in rotation games than an 8-ball, but it does happen in 8-ball as well. So we'll see as the games go on here what kind of roles Terry and Kim get. If things start rolling better for them, then clearly the momentum has shifted. So we'll see how it goes. But it is 3-1, Todd, Jesse, in a race to 6. This is the 1,000 cap Scottish doubles. First place is $1,200, and second place is $600. And it was a $100 team entry, $50 side pot. And so basically, do both, it was $75 a hit. So pretty good return on your investment. And it looks like Terry Rack and Kim will break. She comes to the table, ready to bust them up, and let's see what happens. Kim dry broke. So Jesse comes to the table with the first shot. Looks like the stripes are laying better. Trouble for both is right here. It's one of the trouble for the solids. Just the one trouble there. Stripes can be addressed right here. I do believe he may have tried to. But as you can see, it laid out tough. So Todd did not come to the table with much to work with. There is a carom shot in there if he opts to try that. However, he may feel that's low percentage and not bother with it. Todd opted to address their problems right here. Push the balls out there. It does bring Terry to the table with the shot and something to work with. However, Todd did resolve their problems. So if they get another opportunity at the table, they'll have balls to work with and potentially be able to get it. Kim comes to the table. She's probably going to shoot the 5. This one ball right here is still an issue. It's not tied to a stripe anymore. However, it does not currently have a home. 3 ball does pass here this way, so there's that. But Kim's going to be shooting over the 11 ball and puts her in a tough position to do anything shape-wise off this 5 ball. Her best bet, maybe come in like this and get into this area, which would give Terry a look at 4 ball, maybe even the one up into the corner. Yep, good draw. So I'm not sure if that 1 ball goes in there. It could. Looks like Terry's looking at it right now, in fact. But he does have a shot on the 7 if he does not like that. Terry makes a great shot on the 7 ball, leaving Kim a couple options. She can play the 4 inside here, but more likely play the 6 here. Could potentially give Terry a look at this right here, and I believe if he makes that 3 there, even if that 1 stays, the 1 will also pass by. Look, she's elevated a little bit. Stop it. But she does. So it gives Terry a good look at 4 on the side if he wants, with a 3 here, which I would say is the better of the 2 shots, just because the 4 on the side does not leave a good shape window to get to the 1 or the 3. So playing this natural shape, it should go to the rail and come back towards the 14 and the 1. A little bit of right can go through that window, which he did play it that way. The cue ball came out and gave her a good look at the 4, but he missed the important part, and that was the shot. But as you can see, they don't have a great starting shot, as he may opt to start with this one, because it seems to be the easiest. Potentially this way also, if he wants to go that route. Also, the safety is available in there, and since they tend to lean that way a little bit, it wouldn't surprise me if that's the route they go versus going for the out. But I think he's shooting for the 14, which I don't hate that at all. In fact, I kind of like that. So he hit that pretty good. I don't know if that 13 passes by there or not. It might. And if it does, there is an angle to bump that 15 or maybe even get below it. He has the option of shooting the 11 in the corner right now as well. So it's all preference. But they have a good opportunity here to put another number up. Get back to their 3-game lead. All right, I'm back. Step away for just a second. Terry with a nice shot on the 3 in the corner. Great kid. Great. She's pulled back a little bit, just like that. Great shot. Gives Terry a very doable shot on the 8 here. Close the gap. guys. I closed the gap to 1. Todd and Jesse are at 3. Terry and Kim are at 2, and the race to 6. This is alternating brake PCA, so they were right there. So this tournament was 1,000 particle cap Scotch doubles. There was no gender requirement, so no male female requirement. Just had to be under the cap. We ended up with 24 teams, varying ratings. Now, if your team fell between 900 and 1,000, you would play to 6. If it fell between 800 and 900, you would play to 5. If you were below 800, you played to 4. And that would be no matter what match you played, who you played, on the A side or the B side, you would always race to your number. It was something new I tried, and it is running much longer than I had anticipated or hoped for. But like I said, with 24 teams, there were lots of really good matches that went deep in their match, hill style, or a little bit less, and so that adds time. So these are some modifications I'll have to consider in future tournaments of this magnitude, so that they don't finish this late on a Sunday night. Now, it's not that big a deal. It's only 9 o'clock. However, I try not to run too late into Sunday, as there are many out-of-town teams that come here, and I do not wish to have them out traveling home late night on Sunday after all day of pool and they're tired. Typically, I like to be done by 6. That way, they have get home at a decent hour, get things done that they need to get done to prep for the work week. These are things I learn as we go. So here we are, 2 to 3, race to 6. Terry and Kim are at the table. So, for those of you watching, if any of you are interested in playing tournaments, if you have Facebook, you can go to Yakima Pool Tournaments on the Facebook page, and I advertise all tournaments there. Everything as far as our weekly tournaments, any bigger weekend tournaments, they all go on that site. That way, if you go and like the page, then you can even set up notifications so that when I post, you can get notified. But if not, it should pop up on your feed on any new posts I make. But I do post flyers for weekly stuff and for bigger weekend tournaments. And the bigger weekend tournaments, I usually post with plenty of notice. So just stay tuned, and then if you want one, you can sign up to play on the Facebook page. I do monitor it. Sometimes my number is on the flyer itself, and you can shoot me a text. Sign up that way. One way or another, we can get you in there. Okay, I'm back. All right, so the score is 3-2 in favor of Todd and Jesse. This is the first race, as they need to beat Terry and Kim twice to win the tournament. Terry and Kim have the hot seat. First place wins $1,200. Second place is $600. Todd made a great shot right there. All the solids are out in the open, so just a matter of pocketing balls here. He let Jesse look at the 4 in the side, so he'll probably shoot that and potentially try to leave the cue ball in the same area to give Todd multiple options here. He could go forward to the rail and back out. Yeah, definitely would have shot that a little bit. I would hit that with a little stun ball and come out into this area. But that's not the worst position. Todd's good enough to work with that. However, not the most ideal spot. As stroke and draw, so the cue ball can come this way and then maybe up this way. Okay, so he softened it up and left Jesse straight in to the side on the 5 ball. Ideally, he would have been more here so that he could have followed, taken the cue ball down here. This is what we call being on the wrong side of the ball. Pocket. You go through it, see the cue ball on the wrong side. But it's still very workable. Very workable. So now Todd has a couple of options here. Pop the 6 to the side and pull the cue ball out this way like that. Or even this way if you so chooses. Ideally, I think you'd want to play the 3 ball here to the corner, take the cue ball this way and out. I think if I was playing, that'd be what I do. With low right draw so that it comes basically into this area. But it looks like he's looking at the 6 ball. So he's going to pop it and get down to the bottom rail and back out. Playing off the natural angle there. That little bump on the 8 ball was definitely a love bump, as it reduced the angle that Jesse would have had on his 3. Now you see the cut angle on this is to the corner. Cue ball is going to come to the rail and back. So the thing is to don't baby this and leave the cue ball over here. Let it come across and set your partner up with a nice look at this 8 ball. Okay, it's really close to his work, but it is very straight, so it's just a little pop. Let that sucker roll up into the corner, and it will be 4-2. And just like that, they get out, and they take a 4-2 lead. The race to 6. It is Kim track, Terry's break. And while that's going on, touch on some sponsors. So the Screen Effects, they offer handful screen printing, and they also do embroidery, pretty much any garment. So, and they do quality work. You can get a hold of them through their Facebook page or call 509-607-9307. And there's Volution Fitness, 24/7 gym, 4 locations in Yakima, 1 in Sela. Your membership gets you access 24/7, so you can work out whenever it's convenient for you. They offer personal training, group classes, and nutrition coaching. You can become a member. You visit any one of their sites, or through their Facebook page, or you can go to volutionfit.com. And there's ACH, which is Arredondo Custom Hauling. They've been moving freight across the Pacific Northwest for over 18 years. They specialize in flatbed and maxi flatbed work. They take pride in getting the job done right. If you have any auto needs or any questions, you can call Brian at 509-760-8518 or Robert at 509-855-6736. And then, of course, there's the PNW Design Fab. They are a custom metalwork and installation company. Their services include everything up to but not limited to gates, handrails, stairs, personal and business signs, beds, and more. Bring them your idea and they will bring it to life. So, for any questions, call 509-952-3044 or visit them on the web at pnwdesignandfab.com. And of course, our home location, which is Little Dutch Inn, or better known as the Dutch. They are open 365. Sunday through Thursday, they are open 8 a.m. to midnight. Friday and Saturday, they are open 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. There's a full kitchen and bar here. They offer daily lunch and dinner specials. And for pool enthusiasts, they have 5 7-foot diamonds. They were all just freshly recovered as well, so they're super fast. There's a free guest Wi-Fi here, so when you're here, just ask the bartender for the password. They also they take reservations for events. If you want to come in for a group, then you can reach out to them and they will get that scheduled with you. You can contact them through Facebook as well, or you can call 509-452-7960. And that is the Dutch. It's on 6th Avenue and Lincoln. So come on by anytime, day or night. Enjoy yourself. Back to the match here. So as Todd was bridging, he bumped the 8 and became Terry's option to move it back or leave it where it was, and he opted to move it back. So that's why you saw Terry at the table. He come up, move the 8 ball back, and which is their option. And then Todd shot a shot, ended up scratching, bringing Kim to the table with ball in hand. The ball to start with for them would be the 2, and the 2 to the side. What she's looking right there. That's the problem. So start there where she is. Roll forward a little bit. Give Terry options here on what he wants to show next. She opted to draw. I would have went forward. But she managed to drop back and get into a spot where Terry can work with this. The reason why I would have went forward is it would have been easy to play the 4 ball next to the side, but now he'll play that, the 5, give a little love tap there, and because it's so close to the 6 and 7 balls, it's better with 2 shots, and she could just stop it right here, and then that would leave Terry with 4 ball, and be on the correct side to the cue ball down here too. So at this point, this 5 ball right here, or the 1 ball right here, is their trouble. So as you can see here, she rolled forward, which is not as ideal as having it stopped there, but still works. Still gives Terry a good look at the form side and a correct angle to move the cue ball down table. You slow roll it, and they can play the 6 here if they want, or let it roll down. The 1 may pass here. Let me take a quick look. It does look like it does. And if it does, that's the shot she will be taking next. Theoretically, she could play the 6 in the corner with a little stop shot, but if you're on your treble ball, shoot your treble ball. But it looks like she's playing the 3. I'm not sure why she's opting for the 3 instead. And the reason why I say that is because of that right there. You come out bumping it. It would have been different if she'd have spun it. The cue ball would come out this way, but she just came out on its natural angle and bumped the ball. And still gives Terry a good look at the shot and the angle to get up with the 6 inside. It's just a little stunner. Rolled up into this area. So I can tell you, he played that as a 2-way shot, and everyone who knows me knows I'm not a fan of that. And what I mean by 2-way is the whole if I miss, they have no shot. But you can see here that long. And the reason why I do not like 2-way shots is because you are 50-50 committed. 50% to the shot, 50% to the shape, 100% commit to the offensive shot or the defensive shot. Your percentage goes up on executing that very shot. Jesse was hooked, but he managed to get a 2-rail kick and get a legal hit. So Kim comes to the table with a great look at this 6. It's a long shot. However, it presents natural shape for 1. So the thing is here, you don't want to force us to take the cue ball up the table and give Terry a funky shot. To just roll those pocket speed, maybe a little bit more, to possibly get the cue ball in this area, which would give Terry a cut on the ball, and the cue ball will come off kind of like this. It would be a great look at the and she hit that a little firmer than she needed to, but as you can see, it was on the correct line, so it gave a nice little bump to the 1, and so Terry's not going to be able to do too much of this at no angle, so he's probably just going to stun it a little bit, maybe leave it right there, leave her a longer shot on the 8. He may try to power drop back through that little window there. Not the best. He's to maybe get more into this area, but tough to do when you're that close to the object ball. However, she's going to play this corner as it is a built-in 2-way. Now, as long as she doesn't power this, the 8 ball can go here, the cue ball will come in like this, and then we have the built-in if I miss, you leave it up there. Now, the thing with this angle here, this isn't really a danger of scratching unless she hits it with speed. And the reason why I say that, if she cuts that with speed, the cue ball would deflect wider off the 8 ball and bring that pop into play. So this, you know, just roll it in. Okay, so a different 2-way. I like that even less. She was worried it would scratch, and so she opted to do the bank. So now I was going to play safe here. He could go for the bank shot inside, make it win, but he's just going to slow roll and just tap and then tie it up right here. You see how he came to the table with that 100% on his mind. He's not thinking bank it, or anything. He's thinking play safe, roll up, force him into a kick, maybe we get more. And just like that. So you see his cue ball on the right in my circle. And that's very close. And although Terry jumps, believe it or not, as long as he's been playing pool and as long as the jump shot's been around, he's only been doing it a few years. He does get over balls, but this is very tough as it's super close to the 9. And then it has to jump, clear it, release, and roll forward to the 8. So this actually almost be better as a kick. and the dreaded miscue. It ended up higher than 9, so Jesse will come to the table with ball in hand and ball in hand on the 8 to take a commanding 5-2 lead and get to the hill. Now, a piece of advice here. If you have ball in hand, why would you put it in a place where you have to lean far or stretch? I've seen it with people do it where they put it out there and then they end up grabbing a crotch. I just can't fathom why you would do that. If you have ball in hand, you can move it to wherever you like. Put it somewhere where you can bridge comfortably. But he drains it, and they take a 5-2 lead. And I do believe they have the break. So they're breaking on the hill for the potential to win this first race and go to race number 2. We shall see. Chubbs, I will post it. After every big tournament like this, I do a big Facebook post. And I will announce the names of the 4 money spots. There is a players list, team list that I posted. I do believe I posted that. If I didn't, I apologize. I will also put that out there. But yes, there will be a post about that and the tournament outcome. As this tournament winds down, once we get concluded here, I'll take a few minutes to get all my stuff put away, and then I'm going to hit the road and go home, and then probably within an hour's time, it will be posted. So if you don't see it tonight, you'll definitely see it by tomorrow. So a dry break would bring Terry to the table. So Terry opted to go with stripes. Gave a nice little cut shot to Kim on the 15 ball with an angle to work with. This is currently a trouble ball, probably their biggest one. So now with this cutting here, if she were to put a little top left, so if you picture a clock, say maybe 10 o'clock where the number 10 is, or 11, with a top left, cue ball come out this way and give her shape, or give Terry a good shot to the 11 on the top of the side. So you see what happened. She hit that with a little right, so more like 1 o'clock. And when it did that, coming to this rail, that 1 o'clock is fighting its natural angle, so it comes across straighter like it did. Now, had she just played the top left, it would have come out into this area. But instead, Terry's looking at this, playing it all the way down. Very good attempt. Okay, so now Jesse will come to the table, and I do believe this 6 ball goes. Yeah, it does. And he doesn't have to do much as the 4 ball sits here for the next shot. Their trouble ball is right here. So definitely something we're going to want to fix soon. Now, Todd could, if he wanted to, play this ball a little low right, so 5 o'clock on a clock base. That would bring the cue ball into here like this, come at this, and open it up. how that would lay out if you were to get into that is anybody's guess, but it would be different from what it is now. And right now, it's crap. So he have to do basically do a little right, but do more of a stun shot versus a draw shot, and end up where he is now. So Jesse's got three options here. These two he's very close to. And of course, this one can also shoot, but it would be tricky as they would be bridging over the one ball. So he could play the three here, he could flip the one there. The thing is that in doing so, the cue ball is going to go somewhere where it's not going to offer much for a shot next. So he's looking to go for the 5 ball right now, which would open up the 7 ball. He got the 7 out of there beautifully, but managed to rattle the 5. However, it's not entirely horrible as it blocks all 3 of these strikes right here. And so Kim comes to the table looking to possibly shoot this up there. A defensive play she could do is to do this combo, knock the 5 in, take the pocket, and with that angle, the cue ball would come over into here. However, you have to be a defensive player to see those things. But she nutted that shot to the corner. But as you can see, it did not leave Terry much to work with here. It was going to be difficult anyway, just because their balls are not laying well to the run out. So it looks like he's going to be playing a safety shot here. Hold the cue ball, hold. It did. So good play there. Had that ball in, that would have been heartbreaking for sure, and most likely would have cost him this particular match. However, it hangs on the ledge, and it's a little point hooked as well, or knuckle, or titty, or whatever you want to refer to the point on the pocket. So he's having to kick one rail. Cannot go directly at the one. So he's going to come across probably at the 3 ball. Right here, which she does. It's a good hit. And he gets a pretty decent leave as it did not sell out. Had they been over here where you could see this ball and decide to shoot at, then the potential that they could run this table out is there. However, where it sits right now, there's really nothing. So I believe Kim is playing safe. She's just going to nudge the edge of that ball and sit right here. Forcing Jesse to come to the table with a kick. And she actually did that white ball. So there is a kicking lane 3 here. However, this distance right here allows for a jump shot. I don't know how proficient Jesse is at jumping. I know he has a jump cue and he's grabbed it for the shot. So we shall see. Getting over the wall and getting a good hit is the most important thing. If you don't make it, it's not the end of the world. But ball in hand is a big, big deal. You do not want to do that right now. So get your hit. I can tell you, folks, it's not always the best option to jump. Don't forget to be able to kick. Teach yourself to kick, learn to kick. It comes in handy. Oh, he got over. He got a nice hit. So, Chubbs, the out-of-towners, I've had people from Spokane is probably the most common furthest location. Plenty from Tri-Cities, because they have a nice pool bar there that we always go to for tournaments, so they always return the favor. I've had Westsiders come, Moses Lake, Othello in that area, Wenatchee, quite a few. I don't really push real hard for the West Siders or like Oregon. However, I do advertise in some spots where they see it. But I definitely look uh, to advertise to out of towners, as not only do I like seeing them here, the owner of the Dutch really enjoys hearing that he had out of towners come. And it's always a good thing, because if they have a good experience here, whether it's a good tournament or just overall good, then they share that knowledge with others, and that just increases your visibility, so that next time you post a tournament, someone else will say, well, my buddy went there and liked it, had a good time, so then maybe now they consider coming. That's kind of how you grow it, and so that's what we do. So as you can see here, the 11 and the 13 are not ideal. So Terry's going to be looking to play a safety here. Probably up as 13. Just kind of bump it over here maybe. Get the cue ball right in here. Nice and tight on that one ball, so there's no shot. I tell you, I'm very surprised by that. He didn't bank it with the intent to make it. He just wanted it out of there, and the cue ball on the bottom rail. But something with the cue ball in here would have really taken away options for Todd. I don't know that he'll exactly trying to pocket this or just play safe. So he returned the save, basically taking away this shot, because that would have been the only ball they have to go. 13 does not pass, so it does not have a shot. Something else, Cubs, that's kind of cool with streaming is we've had matches streamed before where I look in the comments and there was people from Brazil watching, and we were having a conversation, and I forget the other country that we had a viewer from. And then we've had multiple states, people look in, pool players, they see something like this, they just kind of check it out for a minute, maybe ask a couple of questions. But it's always cool to see, that your streams can reach anywhere in the world, and that's kind of the beauty of the internet. But it's always fun, just kind of stretch your arms out and see how far you can get things to go. But yeah, we do a lot of tournaments here, and I always advertise it on a lot of the pool groups on Facebook to cover virtually everywhere in the Pacific Northwest. There's so many tournaments everywhere, so it's hard to get people to travel to Yakima when they can stay local, or maybe travel half the distance and have a great location to play a great tournament at, and also has good money in it and everything. So it's tough. It's a tough draw, but you'll never get it if you never try. Our local community is very supportive as well. They always sign up for tournaments and look to play, giving me ideas on what kind of tournaments they'd want to see. I'm willing to listen to everybody, just because it's never a bad thing to get new ideas. Yeah, it's pretty neat, isn't it? Just you get somebody from somewhere far away and they message you and have a question or just talk to you, and you're like, hey, that's cool, you know. It's nice to know where people are from and see just how far your streams can go. So that's cool. Just keep doing that, Chubbs. Yeah. Just keep doing your thing as well. It's pretty awesome. So Kim opted for a jump shot at the 11. She got over the 2, and she's always jumped pretty well. Did not leave anything real easy for her. Jesse's looking at a back cut at 7, which is going to be tough, but he's literally playing more of a two-way, and you see the speed at which he hit that. He was trying to get the cue ball right here, which he did not. So this could be a problem for them. As Terry comes to the table, he'll be cutting this here, and so it just depends on what Terry wants to do with the cue ball here, because this window is open. Although it's not the easiest, you can load up inside English as well, so that when it comes out this way, it checks up and comes back. It's all preference. Very unfortunate there. I don't even know if that goes. It doesn't appear to go. And even if it did, it would have been a very, very difficult shot. But the odd part is even if he had gotten here and gotten above the ball, the 13 had to go here, so she was going to be in a tough spot no matter what. Oh, for goodness. I don't believe she called that often. However, he saw the curve shot with perfect and with the shape on the 8 or the next one. Luckily, it did not leave anything easy. So, Todd's definitely a quick safety. Now, what he does, well, if you can see the 2, he may try to fire at this, just try to end the match. But their pattern has always been to play at safety. So we'll see. So he did go for the out. But now Terry will come to the table with a shot that he's very capable of making. I'm not going to say much more on that just because of the potential curse that I may cause. So I'll shut up now. Talk to you after the shot. Okay, so that could be very possible. That could cost them this first race. The starting shot would be 3, just because it has natural shape to come out this way. He's opting for the 2 just because it's the easiest shot on the table. However, if you don't get back out here towards the middle, he managed to, so he's okay. So now this becomes a little bit of a concern. He has a shot at it right now, but I don't like shooting it now The 7 would be where you want to go. Maybe come into here and let Jesse play that here so that the cue ball can come like this. That's kind of what I'd be looking at. You could even stop the 7 ball or stop the cue ball and not go forward and give Jesse a cut angle to come down table. Okay, so now that they just made things very tough for themselves, as the cut on the 3 is very tight and very difficult. And if he shoots the 1 ball, he would have to fire it to get the cue ball to run down table and back up for shape. So it wouldn't surprise me if Jesse plays safety here. As you see, he did, and Kim cannot see the 8 ball, so it's going to be a kick shot. And if you remember from earlier where I talked about the 2 balls being the same distance from the rail, the center point would work. In this case, as you can see, the cue ball is more in the middle of the table, 8 balls by the pocket, so aiming a center point line does not work. But I can tell you, it's going to want to be close to this point. If you shoot below the pocket, you're going to be too low. Okay, so now this is definitely going to cost them this much. Todd comes to the table with the ball in hand. 8 balls right near the pocket, so they will not need to play much shape of any kind to get to the 8. Just make sure they pocket their 2 balls, and then this one will be a wrap. And it will. I don't know what they're going to do, if they plan to maybe split as it is closing in on 10 p.m. or if they choose to play. I'm good with either or. I'll leave that up to them. If they wanted to split, I would not deny them that. Now, this is an odd start. However, I believe he's doing that more with Jesse than anything else to give Jesse natural angles to work with. Which he did. So now Jesse doesn't do anything but pocket that ball. So even if he leaves the cue ball out here from range, it would be tougher. But I'm pretty certain Todd will make that. But in this very case here, cutting that hair, the cue balls, if he hits center top, or if it's top right, he could come out over here and simplify this. Oh my goodness. Trying too hard to get the cue ball down here. But see, all this comes from the weird starting position that Todd took. If he'd have just shot to roll that up this way, then Jesse would have had a much easier shot. But the thing is in situations like that, they get to thinking about the outcome versus the shot to get there. So they get to hang on to life, and it is now 3-5. And we're going to game 9, so I believe this is Terry and Kim's break. And it is. So every match has kind of been this way. It's just very hard fought and therefore time consuming. But at the same time, it gets boring if you just have runaways. So good job to both these teams for fighting it out and making it interesting. All right, so this match has definitely become interesting. Not that it ever wasn't, but Terry and Kim are fighting hard to close the gap, maybe pull this up. If they win this race, this tournament is over. So they're definitely going to be trying hard because you don't want to go to a second race. So we'll see what they do here. They're definitely going to be trying hard, and Todd and Jesse are going to be trying just as hard to close it out and get to the second race so they have a shot at winning this tournament. So this tournament was 1,000 Fargo cap. It wasn't gender specific or anything. Just had to be under 1,000. And we had 24 teams. Started at 10 a.m. yesterday. We've been running hard all day and night, and again tonight. $1,200 per purse, $600 a second. The Tomas took third and made $450, and Nick Lopez and Ron Scott took fourth and made $350, and they were the second highest finishing team in the side pot, so they got the 40% share of that, which was another $280. Terry and Kim also were in the side pot, so they got 60% share of that, which is $420, and that's guaranteed to them, as Todd and Jesse did not get in the side pot, so they have no action on it. But no matter the outcome, Terry and Kim have made that $420. So now they're just working on trying to put an additional $1,200 on top of that. Those of you watching, if you do not play tournaments, haven't, or don't play much, definitely go to Facebook. If you have a Facebook account, go to Yakima Full Tournaments and give that page a like. That way you will see everything I post on there for upcoming tournaments, whether they're weekly, like a Saturday night 10 ball at 9, or a Sunday night 9 ball, or a full weekend tournament. All that information, flyers get posted there. The bigger tournaments, I typically post a flyer at the Dutch on the pool wall over here by tables 1 and 2. But feel free to check those out. And from the Facebook page, you can sign up for anything, ask whatever questions you need. Definitely get you going if you're interested in playing anything. We'll be glad to have you. I can tell you, the Dutch always adds money to our tournament, and it's always a decent amount. For the big weekend tournaments, it's a minimum of $400 that they add. Jim, the owner, has given me the okay to add more as we progress down the road here. So I'll be definitely looking at dollar amounts and bar ad and everything in future tournaments, and seeing if we can't use that to get some more out of towners here, or even the locals, just to get everybody here. But in today's tournament, he added $440 just to get the numbers to work out nice and even, and we appreciate that. So thank you, Jim. Thank you, Dutch. And thanks to all the players who came from wherever you came from, upper and lower valleys, Tri-Cities, Moses Lake, Spokane. It's always good to see you guys here and seeing you having a good time playing some good pool. So appreciate you coming. Thank you. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing more. And what's on the calendar right now is in August. there are going to be back-to-back weekends with big tournaments, but they are the Queen of the Valley, which is for the ladies, and it's for ladies of the Yakima Valley. If you reside in the Yakima Valley, you can sign up to play that, and then the following weekend it will be the King of the Valley, which is basically for the men who live in the Yakima Valley. They will have an opportunity to sign up for that. And these are annual tournaments, and this is the second year of them. Last year, the Queen of the Valley, Dora Valdez, won that, so she is the reigning champion. And for the King of the Valley, Francisco Silva, also known as Poncho, he won that, and so he is the reigning champion of that. I'm in the process of having a plaque made that will hang on the wall here in the Dutch, and their names will be added to that, and every champion's name will be added to it as we go. But those two tournaments are in August. They are posted on the Yakima Pool Tournaments page, and there are flyers posted here at the Dutch. If you're interested in playing any of those, then definitely let me know, and we'll get you signed up. But there are other tournaments in the works. We'll probably slow down a little bit in the fall as football season starts, and Dutch is a big Seahawks bar, so anytime there's a Seahawks game on Sunday, this place gets filled up big time, and they do a lot of little giveaways of prizes for every score, and a bunch of food and drink specials. It's just a good time in here. Everybody dresses up in their little Seahawks gear, and the place is packed, so it's hard to do a pool tournament and have that going on, as there's not enough chairs in here. We're not big enough. But nothing wrong with packing the house one way or the other. So no matter what the reason, you're always welcome here. So come on down and join us. Have a good time. So Terry up for safety there to carry him up a 2 and pocket 15, and we taught 2 very difficult shots, and he just came with a great offensive shot, backed up the 9, pocketed it, come around 3 routes for shape on the 11. You have the distance, so that's always a bit worse, and then can't really roll forward on this, so he's going to try to draw this to play the 8 here. And because he tried that, and it's not a comfort shot for him, you get these kind of results. So that will bring Kim to the table, and they have an opportunity here to close the gap even more. See, when I said about Jesse, his thing is he's very much a slow roller. He likes to slow roll the ball around. So in that case, where he can't slow roll and draw, so he forced it out of his comfort zone and got the result he didn't want. However, Kim missed a cut. She got perfect shape. Now the 8-ball still goes here. It's much tighter, but it still goes, and it looks like it goes here as well. And Todd's looking to play the bank here. And the cue ball. You might be trying to draw this up, but if you hit the top, then it came up short. However, he did pocket the 7, which ultimately left it tough again. If the 7 stayed there, Terry would have had a great starting shot for this run out. But because it didn't, he had a tight cut on the 3, and I think he's contemplating playing safe. And by safe, it would be just to raise this 2 ball and sit right in here. But he may. Okay, so it looks like he just called the bank in this corner here. So basically, playing the 2-way. I told you guys I do not like 2-way shots as they take away. Okay, so he just called it just to call it case. And I like this play. That was pretty good. It's pretty good safety as there's not much there. Even if he jumps, you're forced to do a jump bank. So very low percentage. And these 2 balls are in the kicking lane. So that makes that tough. Also, as to just do the 1-reeler.
You need your stool back
this way. It's there, but it's not the easiest. And then if you make it, the cue ball still going to be up on this end, which makes it tough. You can even do
no jump shots.
You can even do a 3-railer if you know how to aim it, and by that I'm just talking kind of like this. Cue ball ends up in the same place up here, which is not going to help pocketing the ball, or at least getting a good hit is critical here. Like I said, the jump shot really doesn't give you any benefit other than getting a hit, but you're going to want to be able to confidently jump. So I think he's just trying to did not hit that soft enough. He was looking to tie that up, but with giving him ball in hand. So the thing now is to start with this ball right. So she can play that come forward into here, leave Terry this, or Terry can cut this and come out this way. Whatever he wants. But you definitely want to start with the score ball. That is the problem. It does not have easy access. It needs specific shape. So ball in hand will give you that. And just like that, you roll forward a little bit. And now Terry has a great look at either the 2 or the 3. Both are very doable. Just a preference as to which ball you want to try to play shape the 8 from. Terry's off the foot 2. He's probably going to potentially go 2 rail out this way, or maybe even 1 rail out this way. So he's going to. At perfect distances, Kim will be able to reach that without needing a crotch or be stretched out, leaning forward. So this just depends. So not much of an English player. So normally you'd want to come like this, but without using much English, you're playing natural shape. Yeah. And I'd say 50-yard line, but that's more like the 45-yard line. So he's probably going to call this pocket, which makes that tough. You can't hammer it as this potential is here. So he's looking to come like this. And cue ball being near the rail, that's just kind of a rolling shot. So still like his chances here. But yeah, definitely. Normally when you cut that 3, put a little left down there and let that cue ball come down like this and feed you. But because she doesn't use a whole lot of English, she just uses center ball and let it take its natural path. Then it just becomes speed control, which did not work very well. Okay, so the 8-ball sits in front of the pocket, and the cue ball doesn't quite get over here, forcing him into a bank. So now it's a thin cut with no need to play any shape. The only focus here is to pocket your ball. The cue ball will run back and forth. It doesn't really matter where it ends up as long as it's not into a pocket. And then they will have a pretty easy winning shot here to take this first race 6-3. And here we go. So we shall see. If that's the case, this stream will end and then we'll start a new one. And then I'll post the links for the next one. Oh, unbelievable. Somehow Terry and Kim, like cats, they just have 9 lives and we're burning them up, but you got to take advantage of them when they come. So Todd hung the 11, leaves Kim straight with the 8-ball. Needs to make this close the gap to 1 game.
11.
Well done. And that's 1 more, and that was game 9. So now is Jesse and Todd's rapid break. And before he starts to do that, hit the sponsors one more time. So, starters, we got screen effects, we have hand-pulled screen printing and embroidery, any apparel that you do that for. High-quality products. I speak from experience, as I've had shirts made from them for Lincoln City and Vegas. It came out great. We have Volution Fitness, which is a 24/7 gym. There's 4 of them scattered throughout Yakima. There's 1 in Sela. They're open 24/7 so that your membership allows you access at any time of the day or night so that you can go work out at your convenience. They offer personal training, group classes, and nutrition coaching. You can become a member by going to the site or hitting them up through Facebook or going to their website at volutionfit.com. ACH, which is Arredondo Custom Hauling. They've been moving freight across the Pacific Northwest for over 18 years. They specialize in flatbed and maxi flatbed work, and they take pride in getting the job done right. For any of your hauling needs or questions you may have, please call Ryan at 509-760-8598 or Robert at 509-855-6736. So now those of you just saw Jesse, hang on a second. Okay, so per BCA rules, that was an illegal break. So your opponent has the option to let you break again, or they can take the break, which they're opting to take the break. So it is their rack and break. You have to play it as is. So that's what Terry's doing now, and that does not change the rotation and alternate break formats. Back to the sponsors. The next one is PNW Design Fab. They are a custom metalwork and insulation shop. Their services include everything up to, but not limited to, gates, handrails, stairs, personal signs, business signs, truck beds, and more. Bring them your idea and they will bring it to life. Any questions, call 509-952-3004 or visit them on the web at PNW Design Fab. And of course, our home location, the Little Dutch Inn or the Dutch, they're open 365. Sunday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to midnight, Friday and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. They have a full kitchen and bar. They run daily lunch and dinner specials. It also includes a dessert menu. For pool enthusiasts, there are 5 7-foot diamond tables here. They're maintained very well, and they were just recently recovered, so the tables are super fast. They also have the largest pull tab selection, if that's your thing, in Central and Eastern Washington. Largest payouts. There is a free guest Wi-Fi. You can ask the bartender for the password. And if you decide you want to have an event here and bring your group, you can call and make reservations for that. Contact the Dutch through their Facebook page or call them at 509-452-7960. And you can also visit the new website. It is a work in progress, so don't expect miracles when you're looking at it. However, that is www.thelittledutchinn.com. So, and you're always welcome to stop by to come hang out. You're always welcome here. So, back to the action here. So, a surprising end to the last game that keeps Terry and Kim alive. They are down by 1, 4-5 in a race to 6, and this is the first race of the final. So, if Terry and Kim win this, they win the tournament. If Todd and Jesse win this, then we'll go to a second race. Terry and Kim have the hot seat. First place in this tournament gets paid $1,200. Second place is $600. So both teams are fighting hard because it is a $600 difference between the two. Even though you're happy to win money, you're always happy to win more money. So both will fight hard, and because of that pressure, mistakes will be made. But at the same time, how you respond to those definitely will make a difference. Now, Kim fired that 4-ball in, made it, and the cue ball unfortunately rolled up table and didn't leave Terry with much of anything. Not much of an offensive shot here. He'll have to do what he can to try to manufacture something or to play safe. Does look like he's trying to bend around the 11, possibly play the 1 in the corner. And he may have been trying to, but unfortunately did not get it on the 11 ball. And so foul and gives them ball in hand. So one thing they need to look at is if the 8-ball passes here. If it does, great. If it doesn't, it will definitely need to be addressed. Other than that, everything has a pocket, so he can start pretty much anywhere he wants. Even though he can start anywhere, I don't know that I would start that shot. I would definitely start with one of these, probably even 13 right there. Okay, so he drew back to bump that closer to the pocket. However, where the cue ball lies, it's not the best, it's most optimal. However, he did leave Jesse a shot. Looks like he's cutting the 12.
Ended up overcutting it, bringing Kim to the table. Now, this is their trouble ball, so it's definitely something you're going to have to give very specific shape to. Right now, I think she needs to shoot the 1 ball, maybe even the 6. But I think if she tries to cut the 6 ball, she'll be bridging over this, which you don't want because it does affect accuracy. She can bridge comfortably if she's shooting this ball, but forcing shape would be something she would have to do. If she plays this 5, that opens that pocket up to 8, and she's hitting top, so it's going to go into here, which is never good in this particular case, and that's why it does not get over it. As she did a stun draw, she could have just came straight up into here and maybe pull it over this way. So it's important to know what English does what. There is a bank shot here on this 3. It's very doable. However, probably not the best choice. But at the same time, you got to deal with that 3 ball. That is your biggest problem right now. Banks is 3 ball right now, and basically it is going to be the game decider because if he made it, they should get out. If he don't, they should get out. So this could be everything right here. That's a great shot. That was a loaded shot with pressure, and Terry drilled that. Put his years of experience into focusing on that and getting it done. And he made a great shot on it. Pocketed the ball and left Kim options here. She can shoot the 6 or the 1. And in this case, it might be better to play the 1 just because the 6 does pass here. But sometimes having to pass by a ball that can play in your head. So if she plays the 1 ball, then she'll be playing 1 rail out. Just like that. She hit that really well, a little too firm, but still very doable. And so because of this angle, you can't go through this way. So he's going to draw it and come this way. Well, looks like he's going to go forward. So maybe he can get through there. Maybe it's a bigger gap than it appears. Okay, so he underhit that and left themselves in a vicarious position. Now, had he been right in here, then you can chalk this up to go hill. Not to say that it can't be done now, but now they're in a very tough spot. This is a thin cut, it's a tough bank. Because no matter what, cut or bank, the cue ball is running this way, which isn't ideal considering the 8 ball is sitting on the lower half of the side pocket. So any kind of cut angle to the corner will be a scratch. So a lot going on here. And that's why I think the draw would have been the better shot, because even under hitting the draw, you still end up here, which is a very cuttable ball. So it just gave you better percentage. So I believe she called the bank. Ooh, man. I don't like that. That actually came to a rest pretty good. Well, Todd may be able to see this, and if he can, that's what he's going to go for first. Now, to bring in the safety play is because the 7 is sitting very neutral. If it was sitting more right in the pocket, then that adds a lot of pressure, but because it isn't, it lets them basically fire at whatever they want. But it looks like he's still playing in safety. You must not be able to see that 12 in the corner there. Okay, so I don't hate the safety. Let me take that back. I don't hate the idea of the safety. I don't particularly care for the one he played. Now, I would have tried to get right here just to make it much tougher. This is definitely a 2-rail kick versus a 1. Oh, he got a great hit. Great hit. However, Jesse can see the 12, so as a betting man, I would definitely say that's what he's going to shoot to get the out rolling. And here we go. Here he is. He needs to not power this. Okay, so I said don't power it, which he didn't do, but he ended up hitting that so thin, the cue ball stayed running. So the thing to understand with cut shots is whatever speed you hit the cue ball at, it will either maintain that speed or lose that speed, depending on how much of the object ball you hit. If you hit very little like that, the cue ball maintains its speed. If you hit more of the object ball, then energy from the cue ball transfers into that object ball, and then the cue ball loses pace. So keep that in mind as you cut and determine how far you need to go, so that will let you know how hard you need to actually hit that ball. But because it ran down table, that's a tough shot here. I think the best bet is to cut this ball here as far as offense goes. That's the highest percentage shot, but probably going to play safety again. Trying to get the cue ball from this area, maybe. No, we're going to get back over there. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, Kim can jump. However, if it was more in this area, I'd be more confident of the outcome. Because she does not jump like the standard style. She jumps very dart style. And so this is a tough dart style jump, as it has to carry a long ways to get over the 11 and 13. So Terry's recognized that and pointing out just getting the hit, because having to jump this, the potential there is to bounce over the 7. But with a butterfly or with the dart style, crashing into one of these is very high percentage. So aiming to kick, just come in here. You can call this pocket and then hope for the best. Yeah, just calling that pocket. But at least this way your percentage for getting a good hit is very high. Just gotta make sure you don't hit right in here, because it will hit the 13. So you want to get as close to this point as possible. Yeah, as you see, she clipped it. She hit it a little high on the rail, so she clipped the 13. And so now this is a very good opportunity here for Todd and Jesse to close this first race out. So the current trouble ball is right here, but once he pockets his 13 ball, then he's going to resolve that issue. Why pop it leave it so close like that, I don't know. But Todd will probably play this combo to eliminate that problem. He could have gave himself a little angle, just roll forward out here and get Todd root to work with. It's still very doable for Todd's caliber of play, which isn't really an issue. But he does not like it. I can't say that I blame him for that. But yeah, Jesse should have definitely rolled forward on that to give him Okay, so basically the play is you pocket this and leave the cue ball here. We're going to pocket that and leave the cue ball in here, and then pocket this on the side. And the 8 on the other side, and then this race is done. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be the pattern they're going to play. Let's see if I'm correct. Well, that was what they attempted, but as you can see, Jesse was pretty stretched out, had a ton of the shaft sticking out past his bridge. And when you do that, speed control and accuracy are hard to maintain. And he ended up doing too much here. So I wouldn't surprise me if Todd plays another safety and just kind of clips the ball and sits over here. So if that happens, don't be surprised. Because cutting this ball, the cue ball is going to run. Still doable, but just brings things into play that's going on. So, like I said, he's going for the save. Now, Terry jumps and kicking window, which he tried to have Kim do right through here, is better suited now. There's only one ball there to get around versus two. And the 9 ball is right here is considered neutral because it's not right by a pocket. So if he were to come through here, clip that, and then the cue ball come over here somewhere, they're in good shape. It's a benefit for them. Okay, so it's unfortunate that they're straight on this 11. The only benefit is that it's on the rail. So that's always going to make it tougher. And as you can only hit topspin, as the cue ball is so near there, you cannot get anywhere else in the cue ball. So the ideal thing is to roll this in. And another thing that works for Terry Kim with the 7 near the pocket. Okay, so a lot of that is in the mind of if I miss, that kind of stuff, those mindsets. So you do that to where the cue ball goes in the direction it should have never went in. However, Kim's coming to the table with a very doable shot, and in this case, it's just speed control. Make sure it stays on the lower half of the table. And so by lower half, it's right here. Anywhere in here for the 8 boards. You go up table, past that center line, it becomes very tricky. But the 9's still lane neutral, and the 11's not the prettiest of places. But so you might have some options to get money here. However, this is a very must-make shot. If you look at this line, then where she's coming from, the tangent line is right here. So it's just speed control. It's going to come out somewhere in here for the cue ball. The thing is, you just concentrate on the speed. Do not overcook this and send the cue ball up to it. So 2 things happened there. However, she did leave it tough, but there's room for stroke here. So Todd is going to fire this ball here. The ball can come in like this. And because of that room for stroke, these high percentage make right here. And any kind of angle on the 9 will allow the cue ball to go down table to that same lower half. But you see, Kim did hit that with a little more speed. Now that's beyond surprising here. I did not expect that at all. So this is a shot Terry can make. He's got a good look at this. And the thing is, you don't baby this and try to hold it in this half. You're going to let that cue ball run, but run with the speed to go up table and back down into that same half. So Terry did the right thing there. He was down on the shot. Something he didn't like. As you can see, Terry did the right thing there. He hit it with the speed to go up and down the table. However, it was very unlucky that he ran into the 13 ball and left it very, very difficult. So I can tell you, coming from that angle, it is cuttable on the side, but it has to be perfectly thin because if it hits it a little too much, even by a little bit, the cue ball will run and scratch here. It literally has to be perfectly thin. Thin at that. Okay, so what she was intending to do was kind of a two-way. If she missed, if that 8 ball would have come out into here, it would be perfect. However, Jesse's under a ton of pressure right now. The shot is very big. He needs to just roll forward, pocket that, and leave caught a shot of the 8 in the corner. That's what he's going to try to do. But he's under pressure. And like I said, in his head, he's all about if I miss, that kind of stuff, because he wouldn't have wanted that to be TODD shot on the 8. However, the only good thing is that the 9 laid up here versus somewhere neutral. But this 8 ball does go just enough below the point where as long as he doesn't hit this hard, then the cue ball will hit here and catch part of that point and come out. You hit that with any speed, that cue ball will fire in the side pocket.
I was playing on his that was the time I had to play 4-2 on Silver Ranch.
Yeah, that was a very, very tough shot. And he almost got a good roll and blocked the 9 out, but he did not. And there is a little angle here, so TODD may force the punch forward on this and make the cue ball do this. There might be enough angle to go this way as well, but either way, I want to be looking to get Jesse to a shot in the side pocket. Jesse's confidence is pretty much gone at this point, and so he's going to need something to bring it back. Looks like he's hitting draw, so it could turn towards the bottom rail there, or the side rail at the bottom. But for me, I'd be going forward. Well, he hit that perfectly, and see, that's the exact shot you would have wanted Jesse to have. This for all the marbles on the first race, and then we'll see what they decide to do from here. Great game, guys. And so that will conclude this one. Thanks for tuning in. I'll start the next stream or whatever, and we'll see what happens there. So, thanks.